What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to Fiki Flips, the most dumbed down real estate channel on all of YouTube, because if I can make money doing this, then so can you. We're here today. We're on our way out to our latest acquisition out in Lemon Valley, just north of Reno, Nevada. But first, we're gonna stop by the bank right here to deposit this check that we just got for $70,000. I'll explain a little bit once we get out to the property on what this check is for. It's for the property that we're headed out to, but exactly where we got these funds and how we're gonna use them. So let's go deposit and then we'll head out.
My track record so clean, they couldn't wait to just bash me. I must be getting too flashy, y'all shouldn't have let the world gas me. It's too late cause I'm here to stay and these girls know that I'm nasty. I sent her back to her boyfriend with my handprint on her ass cheek. City talking, we taking notes. Tell him all to keep making posts. Wish he could, but he can't get close. OG so proud of me that he choking up while he making toast. I'm the type that you can't control. Said I would, then I made it so. I don't clear up rumors. Where's y'all sense of humor? I'm done making jokes cause they got old like baby boomers. Turn my haters to consumers. I make vets feel like they juniors. Say your time is coming soon, but just like Oklahoma, mine is coming sooner.
All right, we're here. We made it. We just closed on this place a couple days ago. The guys are actually here doing trash out right now. So we'll show you guys the inside of the house. We'll cut to the B-roll and then we'll head to the backyard and I'll explain all the details about this deal, how we found it, how much we paid for it, what our projected rehab cost is, and how much we're gonna make on this deal too. So let's go check it out.
She's calling my phone like I'm locked up nonstop. From the plane to the fucking helicopter, yeah. Cops pulling up like I'm giving drugs, nah. I'm a pop star, not a doctor. Bitches calling my phone like I'm locked up nonstop. From the plane to the fucking helicopter, yeah. Cops pulling up like I'm giving drugs, nah. I'm a pop star, not a doctor. Ayy, shorty with the long text, I don't talk. Ayy, shorty with the long legs, she don't walk.
All right, you guys have seen the inside of the house and a little bit of the barn behind us full of trash still. So let's hop right into the details on this deal. So first of all, where this deal came from and kind of the story behind it. This deal actually came from cold calling, but not in the traditional sense. The lady that contacted us about selling this place was selling it for her friend. Her friend was very sick, who was taking care of her sick mother. But the number came from one of our cold calling numbers, and we've actually never cold called this house. So it's kind of interesting that we must have cold called the friend about something, and then she just had the voicemail and then contacted us through that number again. So didn't directly contact them through cold calling, but that's where the lead came from. So that was pretty awesome. This is actually the deal that I mentioned in one of my last videos about being way off on price and just following up with people to end up getting the deal. This is the house where they contacted us and said they want $500,000 for this place. It's gonna be worth $850 when you guys are done with it. It's an awesome property, this and that. And I looked at comps and I said, there's no way. Highest sold ever in this neighborhood is like 470. So where are you getting 800 from? It's just, oh, well, it's a really nice place. I'm like, yeah, we're way off. We'd be at like 350 range, somewhere around there without seeing it. Oh, that'll never work, all that stuff. Sure enough, a couple weeks later, she contacted us again, said, hey, someone offered me 350, what can you guys do? And I checked my notes and I said, that was me, I offered you 350. She said, oh, well, someone else offered us 350. I'm like, okay, well, let me come take a look at it. So I got the appointment, I came out here, and it was more destroyed than I thought. It's a pretty big house, it's like 2,200 square feet, so the rehab does cost a bunch. She had told me that they were putting a roof on it and they were actually just replacing the caps on the roof, not the entire roof. So that was an extra cost here. And then obviously a huge trash out that she didn't tell me about in the barn too. So when I was out here, I ran the numbers again. I offered them $335. We went through the same scenario again. Oh, that'll never happen. It's way too low, all that stuff. And it kind of sucks. Usually when I take an appointment, I always want to make sure that all the decision makers are there. But in this case, since she's selling it for her sick friend, the sick friend couldn't be here. So even if we came to an agreement, she can't sign the contract because she doesn't own the house. Okay, kept following up with them again. And then 2 weeks after that, we ended up getting the contract for $340,000, pretty close to where I wanted it on the appointment. So a little bit about closing and the lending process on this one. I keep telling you guys, there's always something always happens during escrow here. So this place was no exception. We did give ourselves a few weeks to close. I've said that in previous videos. I don't want to overpromise timelines to sellers, so I told them 3 weeks. They were cool with that. And then We got our private lending set up, so I'll go into the numbers a little bit there. Like I said, we bought this place for $340,000. We had a private investor fund the entire deal for us, the whole $340,000. We actually borrowed $350,000 from him for that. And then the $70,000 check that you guys saw at the very beginning of this episode, that's actually for rehab money. So that's from a separate private investor. So $350,000 from the first one, $70,000 from the second one. That gives us the funds and plus some for the entire purchase and the entire rehab amount here. And then we don't have to come out of pocket at all to get this deal done. But before we got the deal funded, I was actually going to Mexico, and I wanted to wrap this thing up because it was supposed to close like the day when I got back, and I knew there would always be some bullshit happening that would go wrong, and I didn't want to be dealing with it while I was on vacation. So everyone was cool to close a week early, the day before I left. Title was good. We were good to go as far as funding, and the sellers wanted to go ASAP anyway. So I was like, cool, let's do it. And it comes down to the signing table. I've already signed, sellers come in to sign, and there is a $1,900 lien on the property from Waste Management, our trash service here. And that's what happens when you don't pay your bill, and they'll just lien your property. And the sellers didn't know about that, and of course they said that it's not accurate, and they don't owe this money and this and that. So they wouldn't sign. We didn't get the deal done before Mexico, and I had to deal with this shit every single day while I was there, going back and forth, seeing if they signed. And we ended up closing, I think, on the original date as soon as I got back. And I think the sellers finally just gave up and was like, I'll deal with this later, because Waste Management was like, no, we're right, you're wrong, you have to pay. So that was bullshit of the day, or of the week, that happened with this deal. All right, so the rehab plan here, we're actually gonna do somewhat of a light rehab here. We were originally planning to go all out and totally redo the kitchen, open up the wall in there, raise the sunken floor that's in there that was popular in the 80s when they built this place. But we're just gonna give it an update. We're gonna do countertops. We're gonna do the roof on the house. We're obviously gonna paint the barn and the house, and just do basic finishes like that. I don't think we'll end up spending the full $70,000, but once you get in there, you never know, things could change, or we might see some upgrades that we can do that would be worthwhile. The barn out here is actually a huge selling point for any rural areas in Nevada, basically anything outside of core Reno and Sparks. If you have some property that has either a barn on it or a shop, especially one that has power like this, that's a huge selling point for our Nevada residents out here. So to quickly run through the numbers again, we bought this place for $340,000. Say we spend the entire $70,000 in rehab here, and we should be able to sell this place for about $500,000 with this barn in better shape and a large house here. And this house is actually gonna look pretty nice. I mean, it's newer construction, it's got the concrete front driveway, the front landscaping is gonna be nice. With the barn that has power back here on a full acre out here, will definitely fetch a premium on market. So all in all, we should make about $40,000 in profit here when the flip is done and we sell this thing in a couple months. Everyone always says, they're like, oh dude, you fix all these houses and this and that. And I'm like, no, we don't do any of the work. And they're like, what, why not? So today I'm gonna do my part. So that about wraps it up for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here and smash that like button to help us out with the YouTube algorithm.